Banderacon, Captain's Log. Let's just make this a fresh start because it was 6 years since I did the last one. So, my heavily aggressively autistic brother decided that I can't have a day or just a few years off, and he's got me back on the wagon with this stuff. So, we're starting afresh with Warhammer 40k, how I got into it, and all the absolutely spectacular autism in between. So, sometime when I was in about year 5 primary school for the Brits and no clue what it is for the Americans, I got handed a little rulebook for, I think it was 3rd edition Blood Angels in Warhammer 40k, which would put it back sometime in 2002, 2003. And naturally, my inability to let things go and my obsessive compulsive urge to read just about anything barring the rules get me fast hooked into this stuff. And since then I was a fairly in-depth Blood Angels supporter slash fan. Never really got around to playing the damn thing because, believe it or not, when you're 13 to 14 years old, you really don't have the wherewithal to go to a local games workshop and sort out games, especially because you're at school most of the time. But I will say that I had a lot of fun painting it, even though I had all of the natural talent of a paint shaker with the same disease that Michael J. Fox has in terms of actually getting the stuff done. It often said that my models looked like they'd been painted just by dip method. But I did my best. I tried to enter in a few modelling competitions to absolutely zero success. I even had the subscription for about 4 years where I got all of the Lord of the Rings miniatures ordered to me by a post. But unfortunately I let a friend have those, and now I'm probably down several grand in what would be very, very valuable miniatures. I'll find you one day, Channel. One particular story sets to mind that I more or less got bribed into going to the dentist for some very painful extractions by my mother. Funnily enough, I'd had some very, very painful and kind of shoddy dental work done by a great big hairy-handed man called Vinny, who was under the distinct belief that if I didn't know what was going on, it wouldn't hurt. However, I wasn't the brightest child at that age, but I definitely knew when I had somebody who was about 6'4" and all of 250 pounds of lean Irish beef leaning on my chest with one hand in my mouth, grabbing on it like it's the last fortune cookie in the box, that something's going on, and the pain followed, as you can imagine. Anyway, my mother bribed me with a Predator Destructor, which I don't know if that has an analog now, but like an old school 1 autocannon, 2 last cannon slash heavy bolters if you want them. Predator Destructor, and I remember having my absolute shit rocked in the dentist chair, and then clutching this thing to my chest, trying to assemble it with like shaking, nerve-riddled hands, and realizing they didn't actually put it together very well. For some reason, the sponsons came with these little like 4-stack pegs, and I thought you might have to drill a hole in the hull to do it, but apparently you're just meant to fill it in with green stuff, which to like 13-year-old me, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I can't sculpt worth a shit. But yeah, no, that is at least a small point. I have actually kept up with 40k for the most part. I read a shitload of the books, which I still own. And I kind of like where the lore's going. I was absolutely floored to see that Space Marine 2 was happening, because I originally declared the first one dead. So, good stuff, GW. I might actually get a subscription at some point. Peace out.